Hello, 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 my beloved souls. Blessed be, blessed day. My name is Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, welcome back, High Vibe Tribe. So, beautiful, beautiful new week. We had a new moon in Scorpio, which has been pretty intense. And really, I've been trying to get this message out to you guys for 2 days. And that just plays into more of the energy that's been going around of these delays and obstacles and challenges. Unnecessary, really, and very annoying. Um, we have the Sun in Scorpio. We have Mars in Scorpio, so really amplifying that energy. And then we have Venus in Libra. So there's been two things that I've been noticing big time. It's like people are really emotional and sensitive. Um, or on the other side, it's like very angry and aggressive and assertive. And then there's this other energy of let me play back all the relationships I've ever had in my lifetime and what were the lessons? What are they showing me? What does that mean to my life right now? So you back up. So as far as the emotions and aggression and assertiveness, right? Like that is that deep scorpionic energy, right? Still waters run deep, Scorpios. Beautiful, deep water sign. Again, still waters run deep. You see what's on the top and it's all cool, calm, and collective. But underneath the surface, you never really know what's happening, right? There's a lot of activity. We still don't even know, you know, the full depths of our own oceans on this planet. Meanwhile, we know more about space and, other planets, what's going on outside and off the surface of the earth and what's going on within our own core. So there's a lot that's hidden. Scorpio is that deep hidden energy, right? That's the secrets and the mysteries and our taboos and all that stuff. So there's this, and also when it's in Mars, right, which is one of its ruling planets, and it's a very just strong, aggressive energy. Like you say something and people are popping like 5 seconds. This is kind of the energy where it's like enough is enough. I've been nice. I've been trying to tell you, you don't fucking listen. I'm tired of talking, spazzing out, right? Like people are getting fed up during this time. So on the one hand, it might look like somebody's just like snapping and popping off, but it's like, no, they're not just snapping and popping off. Like, this is building, 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 building. And right now, under these energies, it's like volcanic, right? It's like that's the energy that we're at. So that's that one side of the coin, right? So it's just like being mindful right now that like everybody is a little sensitive, everybody's a little raw. People need a little bit more patience. People are a little bit more sensitive to comments and to criticism and to judgments, right? Um and being able to recognize that and not embody that, not take it offensively, not um allow it to cause further discord, right? Like not playing into that. I tell people all the time, you do not need to accept the invitation to every argument you're invited to, right? Just because somebody wants to be doing that with you doesn't mean that you got to do it back. Walk away. Go for a walk. Go do something else, right? Like I'm quick to dead energy. I'm not sitting here going back and forth with you debating nothing, especially nothing foolish. It's like go look out the window like, wow, what a beautiful clear day. Oh no, it's cloudy. You right. I'm not arguing with you. You think it's cloudy? Fantastic. I think it's clear? Fantastic. We're both right. Moving on. Right? Like, that's the energy that you got to kind of like embody right now. Just move on. Don't take it personally. Water off a duck's back. So, that's that kind of like sensitive energy, right? That Mars and Scorpio energy, just kind of like, you know. that just wants to fight. It's ready for it, ready, and it's not always a negative thing, right? Like that's how it can play out, kind of in a toxic way. In a positive way, it'll get you fighting for like what you believe in and what you stand for, and setting some really healthy boundaries. Like um, going for that promotion at work and like not taking no for an answer, right? Or like um, just having like the courage and the ambition and the strength and the fortitude to move over and to really put like um action steps into play when it comes to like your goals and dreams, right? And kind of being um relentless in that sense, right? Like that's some of the really like positive energy of the sign, right? So that you're working on things, and I hope that you guys should always have kind of something in motion, right? Especially since it's a new moon in Scorpio, like it's going to help give you the battery in the back that you need, right? It's going to really help to push you forward and be like, listen, this is what I'm desiring, this is what I'm calling in, and universe, I'm not taking no for an answer, right? It's either that or something better. What are we trying to do? What are we doing first? Right? And like making those moves and having that like boldness and courage around you, right? Like that's that supportive energy too. So it's not all bad. I'm just telling you that like, if you're here with me, you're probably doing the inner work and you're doing like some type of meditation, and kind of have yourself a little bit more centered, and you have a little bit more awareness of what's going on around you, right? So when we have awareness, right, which is a very powerful tool, then we're able to use that for our highest good, right, and the highest good of all. So if I know that most of the collective is gonna kind of be on the more toxic end of this energy because maybe you know they're not understanding the self and the emotional guidance system within themselves, and thus being very like reactive to what's going on in the world around them, right? You need to be aware of that so that you're not also playing into that same energy, but instead that you can sit back and observe and have an awareness of it, right? And then respond accordingly, right? Two very different vibrations when we're reacting and when we're responding. But on the other side, we have like relationship energy going on, right? Because we have Venus that just moved into Libra, right? Beautiful, harmonious. It's all about love, 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 crazy love, right? Love of self, love of home, love of family, love of friends, having things balanced and stabilized, and you know, um, working in tandem and a lot of partnerships, right? I've seen, um, I don't know how many two I've seen recently. I mean, like it's either been like twos or six, right? Two is the number of like duality and partnership and balance, and six is the number of harmony and grace and love, right? So all these really strong energies have been coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, and so our relationships are being highlighted at this time, and especially those that are more sexual and intimate in nature, right? All relationships are being highlighted. So the relationship with yourself, your parents, your friends, your coworkers, your kids, whatever it is. But especially our sexual relationships are being highlighted at this time. So if you happen to be single, right, and um, maybe you haven't been intimate with anyone for a while, like you might be feeling that void a little bit more than usual, right? Or you might be open a little bit more than usual right now to entertaining people or starting to date, right? It's like this energy is going to kind of is a push for people to be in partnership, right? Because we heal and grow on this planet through relationships. So this transit is really pushing people to get together, right? And if you are single or by yourself, right, it's gonna give you like that courage, that strength to kind of put yourself out there, put your best foot forward, and kind of be a little bit more vulnerable, right? So that's a really beautiful energy. Um, on the other end of that, though, because there is one, if you are in an unhealthy, unstable relationship, situationship, whatever title you choose to give it, it's time to nip that in the bud, right? And for those of you that haven't had the courage to do it, the universe is going to kind of come help push you off the ledge, right? It's time to like shit or get off the pot. That's where we're at right now. So those are two of the biggest energies that I've seen being played out during this time. Um, and again, as well as like the delays, the obstacles, the challenges, and I mean like silly things, like literally, a lot of technology issues. Um, you guys already know that, or most of you should know anyway, that whenever there's big energetic shifts or changes going on in the world, wherever I'm at in the world, it'll start to rain. Of course, this is no different. So, for the past couple of days, it's been like monsooning, right? Monsooning. The light is killing me. Sorry. The light was just like bothering me. I felt like I was like in a police station or something. Um, for the past couple of days, it was easy, gentle, rains coming in. I knew, stuff was going to be happening around the 11th because that's a huge portal. So, I had been doing a lot of prayers, a lot of meditation out early, watching the different light codes, coming onto the planet and um, really just tapping into those energies. And then the rain started coming and clearings, and then the winds started with their activations. And I'm like, cool, activations, purifications, a lot of different light codes just came onto the planet. This is going to be dope. This is a really powerful time, right? Like I could feel the energy surrounding me shift, and I could also feel the energy within me starting to shift. A lot of ascension symptoms have been coming up during this time. So, exhaustion, and I'm talking about like like I had to like take a nap a couple of times. Y'all know I don't nap. I don't nap. Autumns don't nap. It's just not something I do. Once I'm up, and I'm up until I'm not. Right? I wake up normally between 3 and 5 a.m. and I go to bed sometime after 11 p.m. So, me taking a nap though, that like never happens. But this energy has been so strong and so potent that like I've needed to lay down, like I've needed to rest. And the universe is blessed as she is, has been super supportive in those energies, right? The rains have come, allowing me to get some sleep, not having to like jump up and like do my pop-up shops. Um, Cleansing the air, cleansing the energies. It's been really dense. There's been a lot of like heaviness, especially in the area I was in, because there's been a lot of like unnecessary violence over here, everywhere else in the world as well. So just a lot of that purifying energy, allowing it to cleanse the space, cleanse the energy, cleanse your thoughts, right? Like all of that stuff has been coming in. So that's been really helpful. Um, but the stronger the rains are, the bigger the shift, the bigger the transformation that's occurring. That's how it plays out to me. And these rains have been very strong. These winds have been very strong, and I'm like, oh, it's about to be on and popping. Like, let me get my seatbelt and strap in, right? Because we're about to go for a really wild ride. Um, so be mindful if you've been having like some ascension symptoms. Sorry, let me get some tea. Um, Having some ascension symptoms. There's been a big clearing, I know, in the throat chakra. So anything up here, whether it's like sore throat, loss of voice, itchiness, sinus issues, congestion, um, mucus. Sorry, as they're telling me, they're like giving me the symptom at the same time. Sneezing, coughing, all of that, like anything kind of like going on here, even the ringing of the ears I'm hearing is all kind of from this like throat chakra clearing that's happening. Um, I've been having a lot of ascension symptoms. So anywhere that maybe we have stuck energy, or yeah, a lot of it is just really just like stuck energy might be playing out right now, like in like feeling like old football wounds, So I know like I had problems with my knees when I was younger, and like recently I was like feeling this energy like shifting through my knees. It's like that's being recalibrated again. Um, so, just be mindful and really honoring your body, and like rest when you need to rest. Like do what your body is guiding you to do so that you're working in tandem with the natural healing process, right? Instead of working against it and ending up delaying the process, right? The body naturally heals if we let it kind of like do its thing and get out of its way. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Ascension symptoms. Been yawning a lot, right? Like pushing out all that stuff energy. So a lot of activations, a lot of clearings. This would be a great time to get some Reiki done, right? This would be a great time to start working with crystals. This is a great time still because we still have the energy of the new moon from Scorpio, right? To just like really be clear, get a little bit clearer about the things that we're manifesting in this time. This would be a great time to start journaling about, what our happily ever after looks like in terms of our relationships, right? Like, what does that mean? Everybody's like, oh, I want a partner. I'm ready to start dating out there. Okay. And then what? You meet somebody and then what? Like, you just want to hang out? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for somebody sexual? Are you looking like, what are you looking for? So there's a lot of these questions. Bible app. I'm like, why is the Bible texting me? That's so funny. He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. That's the verse we just got. Psalm 147:3. Okay. Amen. So anyway, we're gonna leave it right there. Because I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. Like out of nowhere, like my nose is now running. So maybe that's part of the ascension and my throat. Like I feel like I'm losing my voice. None of this was happening earlier. I did videos. I've been out talking to people. Like none of this was happening earlier. So maybe that's some of the symptoms that you guys are experiencing, right? The nose, the throat. Again, with that, I just said that right, throat chakra energy. The fogginess of the brain. That's been a lot. I've had a lot of clearing going on with my third eye, with my crown chakra. Again, just needing to lay down, eating a lot lighter foods, just like not really having too much of an appetite as these energies have just been moving through. So, just really honor your body at this time. Drink water with like pink Himalayan salt or maybe like put some calcite in it overnight and like drink that in the morning, or some lemon, like anything to really just like rejuvenate your cells and to help you to embody these light codes a little bit more. All right, that'll be super helpful. So, tea. I got tea with lemon, ginger, lemongrass. Don't play with my health. Taking ginger shots every day. All right, angels and guides, thank you for being here with me in the collective. Where should we start? Romance or general energies? We're gonna start with romance. There's been so much of this energy of just like relationships and love and discord and all this carry on. Hold on, guys. Sorry. What the fuck? Sorry about that, guys. My kid's school just called. I'm like, why are they calling me at this time of night? But anyway, um, big energy about relationships coming in. I'm so sorry, guys, that I'm so foggy. I'm telling you, this transit has been really challenging for me, and I've been doing everything in my power to just stay as grounded as possible. Um, and I was so like, I was ready to like call it a night, and I was really pulled to just like, no, you need to get this done today. So I apologize if I'm all over the place or if my messages are jumping. I really do. All right. So anyway, we're gonna pull cards in energy, romance, relationships because that's been a big highlight recently. All this love energy again. It's either like we're out here and we're ready to finally like put our best foot forward and you know we have to be vulnerable to be in a relationship, right? You're putting yourself out there and you're seeing if the other person is willing to put themselves out there too, right? And sometimes we have to deal with rejection and sometimes it freaking sucks and sometimes we start reminiscing about the past and that was another big energy that was coming in recently. It's like this where we're holding on to these energies of the past for too long, um, romanticizing the things that occurred long ago because of the void now, because of the loneliness, because of the emptiness. For some of you, this energy of like limerence has been coming in, where we're just kind of like having these phantom fantasy relationships with people. Um, and it's because it's just so much easier to deal with the fantasy than it is to deal with our own reality and not doing the own inner work that we need to do, right? So if that's you, again, you're being called to look at this stuff. If you're being triggered at this time by, people and situations, again, like our triggers lead to our healing, right? Like, because if it didn't matter, it wouldn't bother you. So obviously, if it's bothering you, something's up, right? Point blank simple. Sorry, I feel a little dry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. I apologize. I apologize. It's a rough reading. Okay, don't judge me. Anyway, thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. What do we need to do? This transit with Venus and Libra, and just what's going on with the collective. There's just a lot. There's just a lot happening. Feel it in my bones. All right. Okay. Yes, a lot happening. Yeah. So arguments, assertiveness, aggression, not seeing things eye to eye, things finally coming to a head. I would not be surprised if some of you have already in separation or on your way to that. I'm not surprised by that energy at all. And again, it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that we were just holding on to situations that just no longer serve us, right? Like sometimes we just get with people and we want things to work, and then we find out we're incompatible, and then we don't want to like make the hard decision to let it go. But sometimes like that's what needs to happen. So for some of you, that might be it. It might just be like this is the time, like I said during this transit, where like if shit's not making sense, then the universe is gonna push you to be like, all right, well, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let's move on to the next thing already, right? Um, and for others of you, you might just need to take a break to reevaluate and reassess. You know what I mean? Like when we're in a relationship, we don't stop growing and changing and evolving just because we're in this relationship. Instead, now we're doing this dance with other people, right? And sometimes our growth and our decisions and the paths that we on take us away from these people, right? And so we have the opportunity at those times to decide, well, is this separation a permanent thing, right? Or are we going to give ourselves the opportunity to grow back towards who we were and come together in a new form, right? Like that, like the DNA strands, right? Like on the caduceus. So sometimes and often, more often than not, right? Separation heals. It gives you time, it gives you space, it gives you an opportunity to see things from a new perspective, right? So, and for others of you, it might just be like, hey, we were apart for a minute and I haven't seen my boo for a minute and they're finally home. I know I'm getting this, it's got this big like military vibe. So, for maybe some of you, like that was what the separation was, that, your companion, your person was like in another part of the world, and there's that like loneliness and that distance. Oh, so I'm getting his military vibes, and I'm also getting a person that travels a lot for work. Um, and that causing discord and unease in the relationship. So it might be time to like have that conversation where it's like, hey, you know, this isn't working for me, like this format for our family anymore, this format for our relationship, or when you're here, you're not present, or I feel like you're gone more often than you're here, and like that might be the conversation that you need to have in order to make the shifts during this time, while we're in separation. So, again, rugged, raw, and true with that scorpionic energy, it's going to give you the boldness to say those things. But fortunately, that's going to be softened by this Venus and Libra conversation. I mean, Venus and Libra energy. So it's a good thing. It's good because the Mars and Scorpio energy, the Sun and Scorpio energy is giving us the boldness and the courage to put everything on the table, right? Put it all out there on the table. But the Venus and Libra is allowing us to do so with grace. You know what I mean? It's like not just gonna be like slamming our dick on the table and being like, boom, that's it, and knocking everything down. It's like we're gonna gently place things on the table, right? We're gonna act like we're civilized human beings in a nice restaurant, right? It's like those are the differences in those energies. It's so funny. All right, children. So for some of you, this is the fact that you have kids, or maybe your companion has kids, or maybe you guys have kids together. And a lot of the decisions that we have to make in relationships, we have to consider them because they are a part of our lives, right? Like anyone who dates me knows that it's a package deal, right? You're not just dating me. I have two kids. I'm always gonna have two kids. This is a part of me, and I have custody of my kids. So whatever you want to do over here, you have to include all of that. And if that's not what it is, then this is not what it is, right? Um, for some of you, the discord may be a desire for children from one of you, and a lack of a desire for the other, or children from a previous relationship, causing discord in your situation or with your new family. So there's just a lot of this, like, we have to deal with this shit energy, right? Like, the decisions we make aren't just about us. We also can't use the children as an excuse for not being accountable. Hold on, I'm going to get tissue because I can't breathe. Okay, I'm so sorry. Once again, I apologize. It's like, I'm telling you. So over it. Um, we can't just like up and leave and up and end our lives or up and change everything on our lives when we have children, right? We have to really be mindful of that. Um, so whether you have children or they have children, like that's just something that's it's energy is really strong that it just keeps coming up. Like think about the kids, think about the kids, think about the kids. I'm hearing that. Um, for some of you, this is some inner child wounding. Um, seeing loyalty, I'm seeing safety and protection. So some of you are still looking to be cared for, almost like you weren't as children. So you're looking for that safety, you're looking for that protection, you're looking for that safe space. You're looking for a place where you can kind of be vulnerable and be yourself. And that search is being supported right now, but they're guiding you always to like look within first. So I do see a very loyal, loving relationship coming in. Um, I mean, very loyal, very protective, just like someone that's gonna finally make you feel safe. But not but, however, the work starts with you. So you need to start doing like that really deep inner work. Like you really need to start looking at yourself and looking in the mirror and being like, okay, like why do I want this relationship? Like, am I ready to actually be with someone and be fully present and participate, or am I just lonely? Or Am I missing, Tom, Dick, or Harry, or am I missing the feelings that I got from that situation, right? Like there's this deep energy of like before you take the next step, and because you do have someone coming into your life. For those of you, obviously, this is not for those of you that are in a relationship. You do have someone coming into your life that's gonna make you feel safe, that is very loyal, but it's like deer in the headlights kind of energy of, is it safe to move forward or is it not? So it's just like that's why we have discernment. Um, the inner child in you just really wants to be loved again, you know, or loved in general, since it really wasn't to begin with. Look, it is safe for you to love. Yep, open up your heart. So for some of you, it's time to like I said, to get out there again and to allow yourselves to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to put yourself out there. You know, explore different options. Don't be limited in who shows up in your world, or don't be limited in restrictions on things like let's say like it's like, oh, I only date tall guys, I only date blonde girls, I only date, people that make only six figures. Like, broaden your horizons. And I'm not saying broaden your horizons meaning you have to settle. I mean broaden your horizons so that you don't limit yourself to missing an opportunity of divine love that might be an inch shorter than you like, or have a different color hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's let's prioritize, right? So when we're out there and we're looking for these beautiful relationships, it needs to be more than just about, you know, petty external things that can change at any moment, right? Beauty fades, right? But a good person, a person of character, is going to last throughout the ages, right? So what type of human are you looking to call into your experience, and what kind of human are you showing up as in this beautiful relationship experience, right? Are you trustworthy? Are you loyal? Are you safe? Are you kind? Are you a good listener? um are you supportive? Do you communicate? Do you have issues with intimacy or abandonment? Or what are your love languages, right? Like, these are the things that we need to start looking at before we start being out here in these streets being messy. So there's just way too many people dating when they should be freaking healing. Crazy. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening because I was fine before this reading. So evidently, some of you are just trying to die or kill me. I don't know. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So again, for those of you where you've been seeing the signs and you know that the relationship is over and you've been just for whatever reason holding on, and I know we all have our reasons. Sometimes it's not that easy to leave. For some of you, that's going to be the children thing, right? Like, you're in this situation because you got kids and you can't just up and leave. It's literally not that simple. Um, but for others of you, you knew the red flags from Jump Street. You, again, holding on due to loneliness or comfortability or fear of being alone, right? Thinking that that's what you deserve, not really understanding what, healthy love looks like, and then accepting breadcrumbs, accepting abandonment, accepting ghosting, accepting, people that are unaccountable, right? Like, those are the shortcomings that we give to ourselves. Oops, sorry. That we give to ourselves. So these are the things we need to look at. So annoying. All right. I'm so annoyed by this. Bottom of the deck, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your life. So patience is still being called in for a lot of you at this time. All right? Just be patient. Especially for those of you that understand that we're, eternal souls. We're not going to get it all done in this lifetime. So some things just got to give a minute. And that might be your healing, while you guys are separation, you guys are working things out. There's a lot of uncomfortable energies that have come up in recent weeks. And so, you know, it might take some time and effort to work these things out and to work through these things, right? For the so let me be clear. So for those of you where the universe is pushing you to end this situation or relationship or whatever you choose to call it, it's because it's been done. It's not because like something just happened and like we're trying. It's because this has been done. This is a situation that probably should have never been together to begin with, but it is. The soul lessons are done. It's played its course. It's time to be over, right? And at some point you got comfortable with the dysfunction, right? You broke your leg and you got some crutches and all of a sudden you forgot that you could walk without crutches again and the leg had been healed, right? So this is the universe snatching off the crutches, breaking the cast and being like, your leg is fine. Go walk. Right? Like that's what the universe is doing right now. It's like, I don't want to hear that shit. You're done. Um, and then for others of you, for others of you that again, this energy is bringing in this Venus and Libra energy is supporting us into bringing things into balance. So for others of you with that worth waiting card, right? It's we need to figure things out, right? Somewhere we went off tracks and we're no longer in alignment and I'm not fully showing up and you're not fully showing up and therefore we're both falling short of what we need to do. And so we need to figure out our why again. We need to remember how we got to be an us, and we need to try to get back to that, wherever we're at in our soul paths right now, right? Because again, we're each growing, evolving, ascending on this path, right? And so sometimes we're just, you're worth waiting for card might be this energy, right? And you might need to wait for it to just come back into alignment. It doesn't mean that we give up. It's two different conversations, right? There's gonna be the person that is done, it's over because you've made all the efforts, you've done all the work, you've done the processes, and you showed up, and maybe that person is just not in alignment with their truth, they're not in alignment with their good, they're not in alignment with your good, right? And it's time to go. And there's others of you where sometimes time just pulls us apart and we just need time to get back together, right? So just want to be clear about that specific energy. Shedding, my nose is running. I don't know what's happening. But look at the time. All right. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What else the collective needs to know, see at this time? My throat is starting to itch. What is happening? So some of you need to speak your truth, and you're not. You're uncomfortable with saying what you need to say. You don't want to cause any waves. You don't want to upset anybody. You're afraid of the backlash that you're going to receive. And guess what Mars and Scorpio's pushing you to do? Open your mouth. If you're not clear, you're not coming out. Okay. Oh, okay. Bottom of the deck, King of Raphael. Right? It's King of Cups energy. So, generous, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, someone, big Scorpio energy, of course, another water sign. Um, creative, creativity, passions, open-hearted. Love the freaking two dolphins going on here, right? So, again, for those of you that are single, another good sign that there is somebody coming in, you know, um, a really strong partnership this time around. As long as you've been doing your work, taking accountability for you, you get to get that back. Okay. First card that had popped out was the Chariot. So a lot of things moving forward, moving quickly. You know, we always see the horses in motion, right? So we have a white and a black horse. This light is driving me crazy today. So we have the white and the black horse, right? So our light and shadow. But again, you see their emotion, right? Our light and our shadow are working together, right? So we're taking that passionate, crazy Scorpionic energy and that beautiful, calm, diplomatic Libran energy, and we're working together to get to our goals and our dreams, right? We're gonna be aggressive and move forward and take charge of our lives while also doing it from our heart, right? Like I think people forget sometimes that like passion can be a good thing. Anger can be a good thing, right? Like we're fighting for justice, we're fighting for our rights, we're fighting for our safety, we're fighting for our homes, we're fighting for our children, right? Those are the instances where you have that really good fiery, passionate anger, right? That works in your favor, right? So that's this kind of energy really being supported. It's like, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna take no for an answer. I'm gonna go get the what I want. I'm gonna go have the dreams that I want. I'm gonna go get my happily ever after. I'm gonna get that promotion. I'm gonna get that job. I'm gonna buy that building. I'm gonna, you know, get my happily ever after, like whatever that means for you. And other people are gonna be celebrating you too, which is super dope. Oh, we got another king. Okay. Got the King of Michael, so this is the King of Swords, right? Very stoic energy. He's not the emotional one, as you see with his arms crossed over his chest. He's so funny. He's always like too cool for school. Um, but this is somebody that's gonna use logic and reason to figure things out, right? But someone that's gonna have your back. Their T's are gonna be crossed, their I's are gonna be dotted, right? Strong masculine energies coming up right now in this reading. So not surprising with that Scorpio energy. So really just stepping in to that masculine energy, which is about what action, moving things forward, productivity, our solar plexus, right? That's our internal sun. That's a fire energy, right? So we really want to use all of that to just get things done. And I love the fact that you have both the heart and the mind here, right? So things really coming into balance, like we have it here with our light and shadow, right? So things are really going to be coming into balance during this, throughout this week for you to help you get these relationships in order, to help you start looking at your life in a different sense, to really start taking accountability and taking stock of your life. I tell you guys often that, you should sit down and like kind of review each section of your life and rate it on a scale of like 1 to 10. One, I'm not happy with where I'm at, and 10, like, I'm freaking stoked in it. I probably can't be any happier than this, right? And look at it. Look at your health, your overall health. Look at your relationship with yourself, maybe your relationship with your children if you have some, your relationship with the partner if you have it, relationship with your parents if they're alive, your relationships with your coworkers, your friends, you know, um, taking a look at your finances, taking a look at your lifestyle, taking a look at your home, like really take stock of where you're at, and if you have anything that's like a 7 or less, hey, that's an area of focus and I need to readjust. All right, well, maybe what are some tweaks there? What do I really want my life to look like? Like, not just like number wise, but what do I want my life to look like? If I'm not happy with where it's at now, well, what would it look like? What does happiness there look like? Right? And then we can work backwards from there on how to get there. Sorry. Ugh, don't like it. Don't like this. Anyway, oh, like this though for everybody. Four Wands for Gabriel, 1111 card coming in. Beautiful energy with that 1111 portal that just came in. So a lot of celebrations, a lot of new things. Some of you are going to be traveling. Some of you are going to be moving. Some of you are going to be getting married. Some of you are going to be figuring out your relationship status. Some of you are going to be moving things to the next level. Going from just hanging out to being exclusive, going from being exclusive to living together to getting engaged, blah, blah, blah. That type of vibe going on. Really dope. People are ridiculous. The wheel, new beginnings, of course. Beautiful, beautiful sign with the Scorpio new moon. Love that for you. Love, 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 love. So the end of a really hard time. And again, for those of you, you know, where that's just a relationship that's played its course, like that's not a bad thing, right? Like this needs it needed to end for the new to come in, like we need to get rid of the old stuff so that we can have the new stuff come in. Many of you who are, single are still single because you're entertaining your ex. You're entertaining your ex. You're playing games with that knucklehead. You're holding them in the space that's meant to be for your partner. So how can your partner show up in your life if you don't have room for them? Right? It's not the universe, it's not a conspiracy, it's you are holding on to your crutch. Time to let it go and walk again. Get up from nine chair and walk, child. Right? How long are you going to hold on to that excuse? They're your ex for a reason. If you still want to be with them, then you need to be with them. If you're ready to move on, then move on. And I'm not saying you can't be friends with your ex. I'm friends with many of my exes, but I also don't look at relationships as most people do. And I also have really clear boundaries in my life. A lot of you are not big on boundaries. You know what I mean? Like you're entertaining it because you're bored, you're lonely, and you're comfortable with that energy. It's like, well, they know me and they know me best. I get it. You're lonely, and it's better the devil we know than the devil we don't. I understand. But I'm telling you that if you're ready to move on to Mr. or Miss Right, you need to make space for them in your life. And that starts by getting rid of the person that used to be there completely. Because more than likely they have somebody in your space. Food for thought. Four of Cups. Seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic of your life. This is my pity party card. This is, oh, look at all the things that I've lost, right? And I know, listen, I'm not going to make light of the things that you lost. I've lost many friends in this past year, relationships, loved ones, people I thought that I would never, ever not speak to. I'm not speaking to right now. Like, I have absolutely no contact with those people. I understand. I get it. But at the end of the day, I always know that this universe doesn't like a void. So I know if something is being withdrawn or taken from my life, it's because there's something better. And that's what this card is always a reminder of. Like, you're focused on this little bit of loss, but the gold and the gem, the real treasure, is what the universe has in store for you because this stuff needed to go, right? I love this little meme that goes around. I was like, you know, God took certain people out of your life because he heard conversations that you didn't hear. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's be grateful for these endings. And I'm not making light of the things that you're growing through because I know they can be very challenging. It's not easy just to like no longer have a relationship with your parents or your siblings or your friends or your relationship ends and all of a sudden you're heartbroken and you're alone and you've been married and or with this person for 20 years and they've all known and now things are not, no longer together and now you're out and alone, you're trying to figure out your world. Like, I'm not making light of any of that. All I'm saying is we need to have a bigger perspective. All I'm saying is that you can sit there and wallow in the losses or you can pick your head up and go, okay, God, well, if that's been taken from me, then what's next? What do you got next for me? Because I deserve better and I'm not giving up and you woke me up today, so I know I have another chance to keep moving forward, right? There's real love out there for me. There's somebody who's going to value me. I'm going to value me. I'm going to learn to love myself again. I'm going to learn to take care of myself. And I'm going to learn to live my life. I'm going to learn to trust myself, right? That's a big one for many of us is to learn to trust in ourselves, trust in our own voice, right? Trust in like the dictates of our heart, okay? And we have solutions coming in. I love this. So again, looking at things from a different perspective, right? A higher perspective. As light workers, way showers, what's up for us to take a step back and look at things. You can't solve a problem from the same energy that it was created, right? So when we're in the midst of everything and we're right up close, right? It's hard for us to see things clear because right in the midst of the chaos. We have to remember to take a step back. We're gonna to look at the big picture. What's really going on? All right, now how can we resolve this? Because there's a solution to everything. There's a solution to and for every single thing in this universe. But if we're caught up in the drama of the problem, we'll never see that. We need to take a step back and go, oh, I know there's a resolution because everything in this universe is resolved. There's a completion for everything. Now, thank you for revealing it to me, universe, right? And then move forward with that energy. So beautiful. So, forgiving and healing energy coming in as well. Not surprising, right? Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others during this time. We need to just, everybody's doing the best that they can. You know what I mean? And it's very challenging and very heavy energy, especially when you're on the path of healing and you kind of start looking back in those old childhood wounds of how things played out. And it can be very hurtful, very raw to see, some of the choices that were made that weren't for your highest good, that didn't honor you, that weren't expressions of love, and how those decisions were maybe consciously made by the person that was supposed to love, care, and protect you. And that can cause a lot of anger, that can cause a lot of rage, bitterness, resentment, right? And it's in that moment that we need to take our power back. It's in that moment that we need to forgive and heal and move forward, and not as an excuse or a pass to the other person, but taking a look back and being like, wow, that's fucking awful and it sucked and I don't respect it and I don't like it. But I'm not going to keep holding on to that anger because it's only hindering and handicapping me. But I'm not with it. That's not an energy that I respect. I'm not going to allow that to play out in my life. Like, big lesson there. It's challenging no matter how you look at it, right? It's challenging no matter how it comes forward. Even if you try to come forward with it with grace, because I try to look at things with grace, especially with those that, you know, abused or mistreated me throughout my life. And I have to see, not I have to, but I choose to see the soul contracts maybe that they were growing through, or the changes that they had to deal with, the shifts, the upbringings, the different things like that. And it gives me a little bit more perspective as to the behavior. Does it excuse it? No. Is it okay? No. Do I want to go through it again? No. Am I okay with it? No. Will the person ever apologize? Probably fucking not. You know what I mean? Um, but those things come up for me to have an awareness of, wow, that's where it came from. That's where it started. Okay, now that I know that that pattern is playing out in my life, I can now break it, right? Like, if I have an awareness that something is wrong, then I can fix it. But if I don't know that something is wrong, then I'm not fixing it. Then I just keep doing the same thing, right? So then I'm on a hamster wheel, just spinning, 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 and wasting my motherfucking time not doing anything, right? The wheel of insanity until something later changes, right? And so it's when we have this awareness, when we come into this awareness, when we call upon, our team of light, the Holy Spirit, however you choose to connect with the other side of the veil, your higher self, and get this greater perspective, right? Then we're empowered to move forward, right? Then the solutions start flooding in, flooding in, right? We're getting the downloads, we're getting the light, we're getting the answers that we need because now we're not so much caught up in that energy, but we released it, we let it go, we surrendered, took a step back, we came back into grace, we came back into center, right? Oh, we got the two of Ariel. So again, this energy of bringing things into balance, right? This Libra energy, we're called to bring everything into balance. Work and like your work life and your home life, your intimate your relationship with your children and your relationship with your spouse. Like, we're just trying to balance everything out, right? Your personal time and your business time, right? Like, are you prioritizing self-care, right? Or are you just caring for other people? No, we got to keep things in balance, right? You got to take care of you in order to fully be there and show up for others. So, beautiful energy. Another reminder, just keeping things into balance. And then last but not least, we got the Six of Raphael, the Six of Cups. So again, with this energy of childhood, right? This can be an energy also of like soulmates, twin flames, reminiscing, rekindling old relationships, rekindling old relationships. So for some of you that were in separation, this is gonna be it's just an indication that it's not over, right? Sometimes we just need to, like I said, take a step back. Sometimes we grow apart before we have to grow together. But for many of you, again, with this children and childhood stuff, there's a big emphasis on children here within these energies, and that's not surprising with all this relationship energy. So checking the relationship that you have with your children, if you have some physical children, and checking the relationship that you had with your parents is really going to be helpful to you at this time. And inner child meditations, I'm hearing, might be helpful for some of you. So that might be like a soul retrieval, a past life. Maybe you want to go see like a hypnotherapist or something like that. But there's just this energy of connecting with your inner child and kind of seeing what it is that they need from you um, during this time to kind of traverse these energies. All right. I was trying to see if there was anything else, but there's nothing else. I'm like, any other messages? All right. Again, I'm sorry if this was all over the place, guys. I don't know what's happening. I'm about to go take some ginger in the shower and figure it out. Um, that was fine until this freaking reading. Now I'm like, can't breathe. It's not no bueno. Two thumbs down, zero stars. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope that this reading made some sense to you guys. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. But I love you forever and ever, 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 ever. All right, later.